Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Thursday, everyone. Time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So I decided to go ahead and start our episode today out here in our little body shop. And as you can see, we have got quite a start already on the 72 Ghia. So this is the next in line here for paint and body at Vintage Classic Specialist. Full restoration going to happen on this one. Big motor, big brakes, probably some other wheels and tires, although we haven't really gone into detail on that. But yeah, this is going to be a very fun little car. So unlike the previous Ghia formerly known as the Krusty Carmen, this car, I have not seen any rust on this car anywhere at all. So that's kind of a breath of fresh air after the last one, which again was pretty much a rust bucket. You saw the episode, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Again, my days all run together because I work nonstop. Anyway, yeah, it's painted. Its doors aren't painted yet. They're there. The deck lid and trunk still need to be painted. But yeah, the main body shell of that one is painted, the Krusty Ghia. Anyway, today we're talking about this one. So our new paint and body helper, Raul, has already got a jump start on this one. So he started sanding the front trunk area like I think earlier this week or Friday. I don't even know, guys. Again, it all runs together for me. But anyway, so while Rene was finishing up the green 68 paint and body, we went ahead and put Raul on this one to get a, like I said, kind of get a jump start before Rene was free to work on it. So yeah, Raul, who again has been working for us for just shy of 2 weeks now, doing a really good job. But yeah, so he started sanding all up in here, as you can see, getting it all ready for further body work and so on. He sanded the dash already and most of the interior surfaces, you know, cleaned them all up, etc., etc. So yeah, he's been working very hard. I think we're probably going to end up keeping him around. Pretty happy with what we're seeing so far. But anyway, so Rene himself, the paint and body master, went ahead and started in on this thing. Actually, he started in on it yesterday. Probably, well, so far I think the worst part of this car that we're aware of was the lower apron right here was very kind of wavy and dented in, and then the deck lid was pretty ill-fitting right here. It was kind of like overlapping the fender and stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, he worked on that quite a bit yesterday. And then today, between him and Raul, they pretty much stripped the paint off the deck lid and kind of the area of the body surrounding it. And no real Bondo to speak of here on the deck lid or the areas that we've uncovered so far. There is a little bit of waviness to it. There was some right here, a little bit of waviness in here. So Rene's already started some sort of preliminary hammer and dolly work kind of on this, getting it in shape. And, you know, nothing major, but again, trying to get the dents and waviness out as much as possible, try and minimize the use of any filler. You know, at the end, of course, everything will be skim coated and sanded down and blocked, but we don't want thick Bondo, you know. Super thin layer everywhere just to get rid of the minor imperfections is fine, but you know, we don't really fill in dents with Bondo. We knock them out and do it right. So speaking of Bondo though, while Rene was kind of working back here on some hammer and dolly work, Raul went ahead and started sanding the front headlight areas, and this is where some Bondo comes in. So not too surprising that there would be some on this car. This is, after all, a 50 plus year old car. But and also there's been some, I mean, I think the whole car has been repainted at some point, but then you can kind of see this fender was probably repainted at like a later date yet. So I think at some point it probably got in a little fender bender up here. So Yeah, there's kind of a dent and some waviness right here. You can't really see it, but you can feel it. And then for sure some filler going on here. Actually, there was filler over most of this area here, so I'm going to take some hammer and dolly time to smooth this out. But here you can see Rene just went ahead and took the grinder and made like a slit here just so we could get an idea how thick the Bondo was and then how far back it went. And so at least as far as he went, it's still pretty thick there. So probably going up to about the edge of this fender lip here. But even then, I mean, it's maybe probably not 2 millimeters, so it's not super thick. I mean, it's not terrible bodywork, but if, again, of course, we want any Bondo on here to just be like the thinnest skim coat possible. So this is all going to get metal worked out, of course, once we get it down to bare metal. The other side, if I can squeeze through here, the other side seemed to be pretty Bondo free, at least where he's removed the paint and stuff so far. So yeah, no Bondo here, and this actually feels pretty good. Shape is good here, no Bondo, so yeah, so far so good. So kind of hoping that this front corner here is maybe the only part of the car that's got some Bondo in it, but again, you just don't know until you get it down to bare metal. Because if somebody is good at Bondo, then there's no way to tell, really, until you start grinding down. But we'll see. I kind of suspect that corner is probably it, but we shall see. Yeah, so again, those guys kind of hit the ground running on this one, and the overall process will be much, much faster than the Crusty Carmen. So let me pause this for a second and go indoors. Okay, guys, we are back. So, Santiago worked quite a bit on the headliner on this 56 oval today, so I'll talk about that towards the end of the episode. Here's this. I can't get enough of this color, guys. This color is so killer. I love it. I really want to paint a car of mine this color. Not going to happen, of course, but I can fantasize about painting a split window this color. Anyway, as far as what I did today, mainly worked on the back of this car. So as you can see, I got the brakes are all together now, and of course the backing plates and the axle, the bearing retainers and everything on here. So I had previously restored these various brake levers and the axle bearing retainer and stuff like that. So just had to kind of clean up a little bit more of the hardware, original hardware that we're reusing, and yeah, go to town and install it. So both sides are done now and pretty much ready to install the drums. I believe that the front disc brake kit is coming tomorrow, so probably tomorrow. I don't know if I will install it, but I will probably at minimum go ahead and paint anything that needs to be painted. Usually the adapters, the caliper adapters probably need to be painted. The rotors probably need to be painted. We'll see. So I'll at least start prepping those things to install. But yeah, back brakes are on. And then I did go ahead and, since I had all the parts, finally hook up the steering. So yeah, this is all officially hooked up now. Steering box and steering shaft are lined up nice and straight with each other, and everything's tightened down. So yeah, the steering on this one is all done now. So yeah, pretty much waiting on the brake parts to come in. Oh, that'll be the other thing I'll have to paint, will be the master cylinder. They're pretty much always come raw, I think. I'll be very happy if it shows up and it's painted, but not counting on it. So yeah, that was a good portion of the day on this one here. Here's the other side. Looks like a mirror image of the other side. And then I spent a little bit of time on the 67. It's kind of been in the middle of doing a tune-up, but I forgot to get ignition points for it previously. Picked up some of those today from Eddie over at Eddie and Dave's Garage. So went ahead and put the points in. So again, I mentioned the other day, the points on here looked terrible and the gap was way too closed, and they had that little, I don't know, almost like spot where they looked like they tried to weld together on them, and the timing was way too retarded, stuff like that. So totally refreshed the ignition system, new plugs, new wires, new cap, new rotor, new points, and everything adjusted. I went ahead and bumped up the static timing to about 10 degrees before top dead center. And then, of course, once I start the thing, then I'll set it at probably for a stock 1600, probably aim for like 32 or so here with the 009 distributor. Added oil to it too. So I think other than, and I adjusted the valves. So I think other than putting new valve covers on, putting new gaskets on the valve covers, then I think this is ready to go back together. The valves needed a little adjusting, nothing too crazy, but a few of them were out by, a few of them were loose by what felt like to me maybe a couple thou, so nothing crazy. And I think there was like one that was maybe tight by like a thou or so, so nothing crazy, but you know, while you're in there, you might as well set them as close to perfect as possible. So yeah, they're all set now. And so, yeah, I think that will probably take care of the tune-up on this. And then I think the next thing she wanted me to address is the windshield wiper. And then I do need to order her a retro sound radio and speaker. So still a decent number of things to do on this car to make it how she wants it. Okay, without further ado here, let's show some of Santiago's artistry at work here. So again, he started on the headliner on this 56 Beetle. Previously spent probably over a day, honestly, just cleaning all the glue. I think I showed you guys that the other day, just, you know, scraping all the glue. You can see freshly applied glue here. But anyway, look at that, guys. I just never get tired of seeing this guy's work. So yeah, there we go. Pretty much finished that side there. And it's kind of partially done with this side. So yeah, just I love this guy's work. I don't know how he gets these things so tight. He's such a craftsman. It's amazing, and we're lucky to have him. But yeah, those are coming right along. Look at those stitches, guys. Blows my mind. I don't know how he does that. I don't think I would have the patience to do that. Anyway, so yeah, this is coming right along. And we have all the materials for the seats, including the correct smooth off-white piping. You can get that from Wolfsburg West. It is not cheap. I think for the amount we needed for this car, it was close to $200 just for the piping. So, yeah, not cheap, but it is correct. And if you want things to be correct, it's usually not cheap. So, yeah, that is where we are with the upholstery on this one. And, guys, I think that's it today. Brian Roth came and picked up the motor for this poor guy. So we'll see. I'm not sure when he's going to have a chance to pull it apart and stuff like that. I'm not going to, pressure him or harass him or something. But I'm sure he'll get to it probably pretty quick, because I'm sure he also wants it off his plate. So I'll let you guys know when I find out anything about the noisy and smoky 40 horse that was in here, as far as, what was causing that. But that's it, guys, for today. So yeah, lots going on here as usual. I think my videos have kind of gotten longer, but the team has also gotten a lot bigger. At first it was just kind of me and Rafa, and then it was me and Rafa and Jacob, and Rene's been around for a while, so kind of talking about our paint and body work here and there. And then Santiago's joined us, and now we've got Raul helping out with paint and body. So The team is up to 6 people now, including myself. So it's gone from 2 to 6 over the course of the last less than a year, I think, since I hired those guys. So there you go. Anyway, guys, thank you very much as always for watching. Appreciate it very much. And we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.